Hello everyone, this is HDSK here, back with some more StarCraft 2 action. This time it is a continuation of the last game between Titan and Empire. Happy down in the bottom left side, it is indeed going to be Titan. And up on the top right side, it is indeed going to be Happy. Now, I want to talk about something completely unrelated to StarCraft, but still related to space. I was hoping to have all these games casted a lot earlier, but number one, it ended up being 17, I think, games we casted for the TSL number 4 with day 9 just a couple of days ago. So that kind of ended up taking up my entire day. Plus, of course, my voice was completely shot after that. But also, it got a little bit more delayed because guess what? We just landed on Mars. That is right, NASA did land their Curiosity rover on Mars. I'm sure if you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me mention it many, many times already. And I'm going to be completely honest, I'm a complete space nerd. That doesn't mean I know a lot about space, but that does mean that I love space. Space is actually my favorite thing, and I want to live for 100 years so I can explore space. So I was super happy, super emotional about the fact that NASA was able to land their Curiosity rover on Mars. And also, the reason it's really exciting is because there's already a couple of smaller rovers on Mars, but this Curiosity rover is huge. It is the size of a car. Like, no joke. Go Google Curiosity rover. This thing is ginormous. It's got 6 wheels. It's totally badass, and it shoots lasers. You think I'm joking until you go and Google Curiosity rover shoots lasers, and then you get like 8 million hits. So anyways, that was a ton of fun. Definitely kind of a big step forward for the United States. So good job, NASA. You're kind of badass, and maybe someday we'll be living in the StarCraft universe with a lot less Zerg. I feel like if Zerg didn't exist, that the universe would be a lot better of a place. I'm just saying, guys, Zerg kind of kill everybody. The Protoss, I mean, they destroy entire planets, but it's only when they're Zerg infested. So that's something to keep in mind, I suppose. We do have the Cyber Core going to be going down. Only one probe and gas right now. The SCV going to be scouting out over here. Oh, he's rallying them in there. Kind of a unique way of doing this here as he does... What is he doing? Is he going to go ahead and expand? It's so weird to me that he just has one probe and gas. He's been swapping them out by quite a bit. Maybe he's trying to fake an expansion or actually going for an expansion here. He does not want an engineering bay to get planted down. That is so frustrating as Protoss. But what's more frustrating is just dealing with this stupid SCV. The pathing is so good that the SCV will survive for quite some time. And down goes the Nexus. Does reveal it to the SCV. Now, it would be kind of dope if he was faking an expand and then actually went for a 4-gate. I'm just saying that would be completely awesome. And might actually just win straight out considering how early this expansion is for the Terran player. But I don't know if we're going to be seeing that or not. Cybercore is done. Chrono Boost not being dumped into it quite yet, as he does have the energy to do so. However, if you're going to be saving your energy, it's okay if you dump it into the Cybercore a little bit late if you're trying to deny the scouting so they can't see what you're dumping it into. Just because it's still going to finish at about the same time. But if you're going to be chrono boosting out probes, then that's something that you need to be doing. Okay, so he does dump one into the Cyber Core. We'll have enough energy for a second dumping there as well. I should stop using the word dump this cast, as we do right now have a lot of barracks on the way. No, I guess there's 2 more. Going to be going up to a total of 3. That's completely standard. I got this refinery confused for a barracks. You're just a wannabe barracks. But that'd be a really stinky barracks. I wonder what Vespene gas would smell like. Do they ever explain that in like the novels? There's got to be someone out there who knows the lore on Vespene gas. I wonder if that stuff just smells awful. I have a feeling that it does, because it's glowing bright green, man. So gross, but it does look like adding on 2 additional gateways here. Not going to be canceling this expand, which is something you almost never see, especially at the pro level of play. But those are the builds I like to do where I'm like, haha, he's scouted my expansion. I'm going to delay my expansion and go for a 4-gate. Oh, he's way ahead in macro, and he has a bigger army than me. I'm going to blame imbalance. And anyways, he's going to go ahead and take out that depot. As per usual, that's just so you can place your buildings where you want them in case you have to emergency land something there. You can lay out your base however you want, as opposed to someone telling you how to do it by having a neutral supply depot there. So it is going to go ahead and burn down, and does move out with a couple of Marines here just to kind of spot any scouting workers. This probe will make it back on home safe. We do have a Zealot and a Stalker here. This could engage these Marines directly, actually, especially since they're behind the gas here. There they go. Nice control, though, by Happy, realizing that there was an imminent threat there. That one Marine's going to get killed, but these other 3 should survive quite easily. We'll be able to go ahead and get inside that bunker. He wants to do as much damage as he possibly can there before retreating, and doesn't want to lose that first Zealot. He's so important, because you got to remember, Zealots are always useful in TVP. as you know, it's not like as much in, I guess in PvP they're useful as well if you're going for charge loss, but definitely in ZVP, or TVP, excuse me, you're always using Zealots. That's why you get the +1 armor, so the Zealots absorb the damage, and they are the sacrificial units, while the remainder of the gas, any unit that costs gas, is what you're trying to maintain as Protoss. Whereas as Terran, it's not like you're trying to conserve your Marauders and sacrifice your Marines. That's not quite how that works for them. But for Protoss, that is kind of how it ends up shaping up. So anytime you watch a TVP, you always want to make sure, or if you're playing or watching, just keep an eye on the gas units. That's kind of the important thing for Protoss. And gonna have a reactor going down here with the starport. So some pretty standard 2-base play here out of Empire Happy. And that does mean right now that he does have the +1 attack on the way. Is he going to get another engineering bay? Hey, I don't think he is going to do that quite yet, as he is working on stim pack. And since he's getting his medevac super early, he's opting for tech as opposed to upgrades, which could kind of be called tech, but is going to be going for the higher tech units as opposed to the upgrades. We do have a pretty early Zealot charge here, which is kind of surprising to me considering he does have a robotics and is working on that +1, but since he does have the Twilight Council, of course that's not only going to unlock the Zealot legs, but also unlock the +2 armor, which I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for that right about now. As for Protoss in this matchup, it's more about absorbing damage than it is with dealing damage. You may be asking, why is that, Husky? Well, you gotta remember that Marines and Marauders are so mobile that they can kite the Zealots all day. Your Zealots are almost never doing direct damage to that army. Ideally, if you're Terran, you're ignoring or dodging all the Zealots and not taking that much damage from them. However, that's why Protoss has to go for the armor. He is going to go for the +1 attack. This is something that has, you'll see sometimes, a lot of times you will see the +2 armor if they're going to be going for Zealot Archon. However, this time it does look like he is going to be mixing in some Immortals here. So getting that +1 attack is going to really benefit those Immortals, because remember, the more damage a unit does, the more it benefits directly from plus attack upgrades with each shot. So what that means is that plus attack will make an Immortal do more damage than the +1 will on, say, a Zealot or a Sentry or something like that. And so if he can use the Immortals correctly and focusing down the Marauders, then you're in pretty good shape. But if you misclick once, you are going to lose that Immortal almost instantly. Here comes a minor push out by Happy. Is he going to go for a drop or just go straight to the third base? Could try and deny the expansion here. Is he going to play the deny game? Right now, though, the factory sees everything that's going on, and you can see right there our Protoss not even going to worry about attacking that factory, because he knows that the factory is just trying to bait him out. And as long as he's in position between the two bases, then he's going to be in an okay spot. Does stand there to take out an Observer, and, you know, it's kind of an interesting choice for him to take out that Observer. I think the reason he did it is because he doesn't want his opponent knowing which way he's going to be swinging around. However, I feel like he has definitely lost his chance to attack. Zealot Legs is now done. He dumped a lot of Chronos into that. Still using that word dump, I don't know why, but it does look like Blink now on the way, and the +2 armor, which is already putting the Protoss ahead in upgrades, but a perfect amount of units here for these medevacs. Definitely planning that one out, as he is over here tickling this factory to death, but the factory's not going to get in the red, but does warp in right now. Can he get these medevacs? Blink is not done, so he can't chase those as precisely as he would like to, and there's another scan taking out an Observer, and I feel like at this point it's actually a mistake to kill off those Observers. The reason I say that, though, is because right now Empire Happy is not really using that Robo for something other than Observers. So what that means is that if he loses an Observer, he can just remake another Observer. It's not going to be delaying Colossus. It's not really delaying Immortals, because Immortals aren't going to be that important with the Templar Archives on the way. I always wonder what's in the Templar Archives. Like, is it a big library? Is it a big database? Is it a mainframe? I don't know. It's some sort of archive, though. Is it all written on parchment paper? But that's where they archive how to learn Psystorm, which is what we're seeing research right away. This is not for Archons. Of course, it does unlock the ability to get Archons, but more importantly, it's going to be for Psystorm. And you've seen a lot of Protoss lately go for super high-tech builds right away and just play the defense game. And the Terran player is unable to do too much. However, we do see a drop over here in the main base. Marine Marauder now with the +1 attack, almost about to have the +2 armor. Or +1 armor, excuse me, is going to go straight for the Nexus. Might actually be able to get it. Every single unit is going to be focusing that down. A couple of Zealots going to be charging over here, while the multitasking for Happy so far this game looking pretty good. The High Templar not out in time. You want to try and warp those in early so you can deny these drops using feedback. But the Stalker should be able to clean this up, although Medevac's pretty darn good. The Medevac finally does go down, so these units are kind of stuck behind enemy lines, but they have definitely done their damage, done their due diligence, even got to kill off one more Stalker. Happy refusing to lose these units in a quick time here, as he's just microing them around. Will finally get taken out there as they get sliced in half. Such a fun animation there to watch. But either way, taking a look at the units lost, wow, a lot has been lost by Protoss. Now, he does have Psystorm on the way, which can even the tide of things very easily. However, if his opponent just micros well, if Happy is able to split that army, he's going to be in great shape here. His production facilities are looking good. His macro's looking good. He's not getting supply blocked, although he will here relatively soon if he doesn't start making some more supply depots, as he does have that third base up and running. But remember, Protoss is very weak versus Terran between the, I'd say, 13 and 17-minute marks. Now, having Psystorm does help that out a great deal, as he is not stuck on pure, just kind of weak gateway units. Even if he had Zealot legs, if he didn't have anything to back it up, he would be in a lot of trouble. The army is going to be attacking over here. They do stim and run away. Has used quite a bit of stim, but it does look like this drop is going to be held off for now, as there are more stalkers here. They're a little bit pissed off about the last drop, saying, hey, brah, you killed my Nexus. These things are not cheap, which is indeed true. And right now, I mean, this is just not looking good for Titan. He's got to come up with something and come up with it fast. I think what it's going to be is those Psystorms. Army supply, you can see, is about the same, but the fact that he was able to kill a Nexus is going to delay that macro a great deal. The Zealot, man, look at how many shots they take from Marauders. You see that? I didn't count exactly how many that was, but even with the +2 attack, that 2 armor just makes them so much more resilient. The pylon's going to go down the bottom right. Good read here by Happy, realizing, hey, where'd that Zealot come from? Probably a pylon to the south. Went ahead and took that one out. This Zealot is out for blood, is going to win that battle. That's super one-sided. That's some Predator status right there, unless it was the Arnold Schwarzenegger Marine. And then you're screwed. Is he going to go for a big drop? He's got to be careful, though, because with the Stalkers up here, you can hold that off with relative ease. But you can see Titan is still playing a defensive game. And honestly, in this matchup, this is kind of the way to play TVP as Protoss. It's really up to the Terran to do the harassment, really up to the Terran to engage favorably in the center of the map if possible. And it's kind of up to Protoss just to get that big old death ball. Of course, there are different ways of playing this matchup, but Titan's kind of playing the more standard TVP style. We do see a Warp Prism coming into effect. We also see more upgrades finishing up. I think that's the 3 armor nearly done already. Yes, it is +3 attack, but we are seeing Empire Happy start to mix in a lot of ghosts. He's got 2 already, with, no, 8 already. My God, where have I been? And he's mixing in 4 more at a time, so he's going to be up to 13, I think, total once they're all said and done. But regardless, that's going to be a ridiculous amount of EMPs. We do hear a snipe going off. And EMPs the Warp Prism to try and get the High Templar. He does EMP all the High Templar, and this is not looking good for Titan, as we do see the Ghost is absorbing a lot of damage. You gotta remember, Ghosts have 100 HP, while Marines only have 55, and with no storms to kill this army, that's gonna look so one-sided. And again, the 17-minute mark, that's when you'll see most Terrans win their games. Can he actually win it right here? Units lost, almost terrifying to look at for Protoss. Over double the efficiency for Terran here. This is when the upgrades start to kick in. You've got 2-2, you've got Ghost, you've got everything else. There's the good, great game, thrown out the GGG. So we are going to go ahead and go on to game number 3. Again, sorry for the delay, but I was busy watching a Mars landing, which is pretty badass. What is also badass, though, is StarCraft 2. So thank you guys for watching. If you like it, leave a comment, subscribe, or do something. I don't care. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.